Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing well. I'm Manhar and welcome back to MSFT webcast. In this video, we will go over the steps to export and import HyperV virtual machines using both HyperV Manager and PowerShell. Exporting a HyperV virtual machine is the process of creating a backup or a copy of the VM in a format that can be easily moved, restored or shared. Exporting a HyperV virtual machine and then importing it is a great way to move a virtual machine between two HyperV environments. There might be a need to export and import a virtual machine between a standalone HyperV server and a HyperV cluster or the other way around. In HyperV environments with limited network connectivity or low bandwidth between sites, you can easily export a virtual machine from one environment and then import it into another. For example, HyperV administrators can export VM files to removable storage and then transfer the files from the removable storage to the target HyperV environment. Exporting is also useful for portability, such as when preparing for hardware or software upgrades or creating test environments by duplicating production VMs. Let's start by exploring how to export a HyperV virtual machine using HyperV Manager. Open HyperV Manager. The export of a HyperV virtual machine includes all the necessary files to fully restore the VM in a different environment. The exported bundle includes the virtual hard disk, VM configuration files, and any checkpoint files. This can be done with the virtual machine either running or stopped. When you right-click on an existing HyperV virtual machine, you will see the option to export. In this example, we will export a HyperV VM named Win11-VM01. Click on Win11-VM01. Keep in mind that this VM has one checkpoint. Right-click on Win11-VM01 and select Export. This will open the Export Virtual Machine dialog box. Click the Browse button to choose the location where the exported HyperV virtual machine will be saved. Go to D drive and access the HyperV VMs folder. Create a new folder, name it Export, and then click on Select Folder. Click the Export button. This will initiate the process of exporting the HyperV virtual machine. Wait until the HyperV virtual machine is exported to the specified location. You will see the status Exporting succeeded once the export has completed successfully. Once completed, navigate to the destination folder. Open File Explorer, navigate to the D drive, access the HyperV VMs folder and open the export folder. You can find the VM export at the selected location. Inside this folder, you will find three subfolders: Snapshots, Virtual Hard Disk and Virtual Machines. These three folders contains the HyperV VM snapshots, Virtual Hard Disk and VM configuration files, which allows you to restore all data when you restore or clone the VM. Next, we will use Windows PowerShell to export the HyperV VM. We have another HyperV server running on Windows Server 2012 R2. We have already connected to the server remotely. There is a Windows Server 2008 R2 VM running on this HyperV server. We want to move this VM from the current HyperV server to our Windows Server 2025 HyperV host. To do this, we will use Windows PowerShell to export the VM. Open Windows PowerShell. Type the get-vm command and press enter to list all the virtual machines on the HyperV host. Look at the name of the virtual machine that you want to export. For this example, we will choose to export the Windows Server 2008 R2 VM named Server1. Type the command export-vm-name server1-path c:/exported VM. Press enter to export the Windows Server 2008 R2 VM and store it in the exported VM folder. The virtual machine will now be exported. This process may take some time depending on the size of the virtual machine. Please wait for the export process to complete. After exporting VMs in Windows, it's a good idea to verify if the export was successful. To do this, check the destination folder for all the exported VM files. Ensure that all essential files such as virtual hard disk and configuration files are present. Once we have verified the export, let's test the exported VM by importing it onto the Windows Server 2025 Hyper-V host using the Import Virtual Machine wizard. However, for this, we need to copy the server1 folder to our Windows Server 2025 machine. Let's return to Windows Server 2025 machine. This is the folder where we copied the server1 folder from our Windows Server 2012 R2 to the Windows Server 2025 machine. Let's import the server1 VM to our Windows Server 2025 HyperV. Let's go back to HyperV Manager. Right-click on the HyperV host and select the Import Virtual Machine option. It will open the Import Virtual Machine wizard. Click Next to proceed. Click Browse to select the folder you copied from the export operation on the Windows Server 2012 R2 HyperV host. Go to the D drive and access the HyperV VMs folder. Open the export folder, click on Server1 and then click on Select Folder. Make sure you have specified the correct path. Click Next. Select the HyperV virtual machine listed. In our case, it is Server1. Click Next to continue. Next, we need to choose the type of import we want to perform. There are 3 available options. You can register the virtual machine in place using the existing unique ID. Restore the virtual machine keeping the existing unique ID. Or copy the virtual machine creating a new unique ID. Since we are importing the VM from another HyperV host, we will choose the first option. Click Next to continue. You may encounter an error related to the HyperV virtual switch the VM was originally connected to. In this case, you can select the target HyperV virtual switch on the new HyperV host. Click on the drop-down menu and select Internal vSwitch. This is our internal virtual switch. Once the VM working normally on the new HyperV host, we will shut down the VM on the 2012 R2 HyperV host and then change the network adapter settings of this VM to external. Click Next. Review the summary screen, then click Finish to begin the import process. After clicking Finish, the HyperV virtual machine should be registered on this HyperV host. The imported HyperV virtual machine is now successfully registered on this HyperV host. Let's start the VM to confirm that everything is working correctly. Right-click on the VM and select Connect. Then click Start to power on the VM. Give it a few seconds to allow the VM to boot properly. The server1 VM is now up and running on the Windows Server 2025 HyperV host. It is asking us to restart the virtual machine. Click on Restart. Remember, we have also exported the Win11-VM01 virtual machine. You can see we still have the Win11-VM01 virtual machine on HyperV host. Let's try to import the Win11-VM01 virtual machine on this host and see what happens. Click on Import Virtual Machine option. Click Next. Click Browse. Access D drive and access the HyperV VMs folder. Open the export folder. Click on Win11-VM01, then click on Select Folder. Click Next. Select the HyperV virtual machine Win11-VM01 and click Next. Next, we need to choose the type of import we want to perform. Select first option and click Next. We will receive an error stating failed to create virtual machine. Since the original machine is present on the host, we can't choose the first option. This type assumes export files are in the location where you will store and run the virtual machine. The imported virtual machine has the same ID as it did at the time of export. Because of this, if the virtual machine is already registered with HyperV, it needs to be deleted before the import works. Click on Close. Select Restore the Virtual Machine option and click Next. We are also getting the same error while selecting the second option. The operation failed because virtual machine with the same identifier already exists. Select a new identifier and try the operation again. When we imported, the virtual machine has the same ID as it did at the time of export. Because of this, if the virtual machine is present in HyperV, it needs to be deleted before the import can be completed. When the import has completed, the exported files remain intact and can be removed or imported again. Click on Close. Select Copy the Virtual Machine option and click Next. This option is similar to the Restore type in that you select a location for the files. The difference is that the imported virtual machine has a new unique ID, which means you can import the virtual machine to the same host multiple times. In simple terms, it's like creating a clone of a VM or making a copy of the existing VM. We will go with this option. In the Choose Destination section, you can specify folders in which the VM files should be stored. You have two options: import the VM files to the default Hyper-V folders or store the VM in a different location by manually selecting the folders. In this example, we'll go with the default locations. Click Next to continue. Click Browse to select the folder where the virtual hard disk for this VM will be stored. Click on Browse. Click on this PC, access D drive and select VHDS folder. Click Next. In the summary section, you can review the selections you have made in this wizard. Click Finish if you are ready to close the wizard and import the Hyper-V VM. I'm going to click on Cancel since we want to perform this import using PowerShell. Open Windows PowerShell. Right-click the Windows Start button and select Terminal Admin to launch the PowerShell with administrative permissions. Type the command import -vm -path d Hyper-V VMs export win11-vm01 virtual machines and the name of the virtual machine configuration file -generate new ID -copy -vhd destination path d VHDS. This command completes the copy import and move the virtual machine files to the default Hyper-V location. This will also store this virtual machine's VHDX file under VHDS folder on the D drive. Press Enter to run the command. The virtual machine will now be imported. This process may take some time depending on the size of the virtual machine. Please wait for the import process to complete. The import process has been completed successfully. Go back to Hyper-V Manager and check the number of VMs. Can you see two Win11-VM01 virtual machines in the list? Yes, we can. Let's right-click on this Win11-VM01 virtual machine and select Settings. Click on Hard Drive and see the location of the hard drive. It is D:/VHDS. And if you check the location of this VM, click on Settings and click on Hard Drive. It is on the default location. So this is the VM which we have imported using the copy option. And let's rename this virtual machine. Let's right-click on it and select Rename. This means we have successfully imported the Hyper-V VM using Windows PowerShell as well. That's all for this video on how to export and import Hyper-V virtual machines using both Hyper-V Manager and PowerShell. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos on Microsoft Hyper-V and other Microsoft related topics. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.